There are lots of things that the Greater Lafayette Commerce Delegation is looking to ask their elected representatives in Washington, D.C. Some of the topics, education, roads, and infrastructure, are pretty common year after year. But one of the first topics to be brought up this year is a new one, and one that is relatively obscure. However, it's one that area leaders say is an important one for the area. News 18's Dan Klein joins us live in the nation's capital with a recap of day one of the trip. Dan?
Well, it's a topic that's in the position papers, and it's a topic that came up first or second in several of the three meetings today. I'm talking about the Export-Import Bank of the United States, or EXIM for short. Now, this bank provides financing for U.S. exports that otherwise may not happen because of the risk involved to the countries in which those exports are going. And it's something that affects several local businesses, including Fairfield Manufacturing, Caterpillar, and GE Aviation. Now, this charter for the bank runs out in June, and for decades, extending it has not been a controversial issue. In fact, it's been extended several times. But it's a prime topic now because there's thought that it may not have the support to go through. It was a big topic today with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, with the delegations meeting with the national group, and it was the first topic of conversation with Democratic Senator Joe Donnelly. He pointed out that the EXIM has brought in $3.7 billion worth of profit back to the U.S., and that's money that has been used to pay down the debt, and he expects it to be able to be passed for the charter to be extended. However, Republican Congressman Todd Rokita, he actually voted against it at one point, but he says in that time since, he's thought about the implications for what it would mean, and he's now uncomfortable if the U.S. disarms that bank if other countries don't follow suit. With the time that he had today, he had a big vote on an education bill. I was only able to ask him one question, so I asked him what bills he thought that Republicans and Democrats could come together and agree on and pass this year.
Well, I think a lot of that's up to the Democrats. I mean, we have a Republican Senate, a Republican House. The people have spoken, and we're moving legislation.
I think we'll have continued economic growth. I think we've seen economic growth in the Lafayette area. That will just expand. Here in Washington, there's a large group of Democrats and Republicans working together in a bipartisan way in the middle here in the Senate.
More meetings for the delegation are scheduled tomorrow. Perhaps the largest one is with Republican Senator Dan Coates. We'll have full coverage throughout the day. Tomorrow we'll be live at noon, 5, 6, and have a full recap of the day's events tomorrow night on News 18 at 11. Reporting live from the nation's capital, Dan Klein, News 18.